Hello, class. Um, it's time to bring our troops home. Imagine spending hundreds of billions of dollars each year on military bases around the world while our schools go underfunded, roads fall apart, and veterans struggle to get basic care. The United States should withdraw its troops from long term overseas military bases. First, I will explain how the cost of maintaining troops abroad harms our economy. Then, I'll show how our presence overseas increases tension with other nations. And finally, I'll discuss how modern threats make these foreign bases unnecessary altogether. So the financial burden is too high. The U.S. spends approximately $250 billion per year on maintaining overseas military forces, per the Congressional Budget Office. That's just taxpayer money that could go towards education, healthcare, or fixing infrastructure. The RAND Corporation found that even when there are strategic benefits, the financial costs of overseas bases is a major issue, per Martinez. Support underfunding at home is clearly visible. As a student, I've seen outdated textbooks, crowded classrooms, and school buildings in poor condition. Not you, Cyprus, don't worry. This shows that we are sacrificing our communities for military expenses abroad. Funds redirected from the military could go toward veteran care, public services, and community programs altogether. Prioritizing domestic spending improves everyday life for all of us Americans. Now that we understand the financial consequences of these military bases, let's look at how it could create tension instead of peace. Overseas bases damage our global image, honestly, in my opinion. In places like Okinawa, Japan, the people protest against U.S. bases all the time. They report problems like pollution, noise, and crime involving soldiers. That's per Johnson. These tensions weaken our relationships with the very countries we claim to protect. One of our biggest allies historically is Japan, with South Korea right there. After World War II, Japan became our number one ally. So to see their people protesting against our bases, not good. The presence of U.S. troops is often seen as unwanted interference. Foreign Policy and Focus reports that many see the bases as signs of U.S. domination, not friendship. The resentment leads to more instability, not less. So our reputation matters for diplomacy. When locals resent our presence, we lose influence and trust globally. And a reduced footprint can actually strengthen diplomatic ties through respect and cooperation. Along with the harm to our reputation, there's also a bigger issue. Today's threats don't require old-style military presence. Modern threats require modern defense, in another way to put it. Traditional bases don't help with cyber warfare at all. Rand's research actually says cyber attacks and terrorism are top threats now. These attacks often come digitally, not physically, so having physical presence somewhere else doesn't really do us any good in that aspect. Technology allows faster military response, and soldiers can be deployed quickly if needed, so permanent bases aren't always necessary anymore. Building like focusing shaping our focus from a physical base to digital defense modernizes our military. This can reduce the risks faced by troops stationed in dangerous areas in multiple places. So let's bring it all together and consider what we should do next. The U.S. should begin withdrawing troops from long-term overseas deployments, in my opinion. We've seen how the financial cost is burdening us and hurting our communities, how overseas troops damage our global image, and how modern threats call for modern defense. We must urge our leaders to relocate military spending, prioritize national needs, and bring our troops home, not just for their safety, but for the strength and the future of our nation. Thank you.